Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode today on the channel. So today I'm just gonna go over the truck and tell you everything that's wrong with my third gen. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Stay tuned, and here we go. All right, just to start off for you guys that haven't been to the channel before, this is my 2006 Mega Cab Dodge Ram 2500 with the 5.9 Cummins. We just did the fuel system in the truck, and there's a few other things we have done. So if you guys haven't been here before, you guys didn't know that I had a big ranch hand bumper on the front here. I had a disgusting chrome grille that was, just chipping away. It was all bubbled up. We had a hood that was just faded to death. So we have installed the cow hood. The headlights were chrome. The tires were shot. I had running boards on it, and I had the orange cab lights. So exterior wise, that's really all I've done. But we'll walk around the truck and I'll show you guys some things that I can't stand about this truck, and just kind of go from there. Alright, so we'll kind of do a walk around and I'll just kind of go over some things. So first things first, is I've complained multiple times about, you guys can see the paint's faded, right? It's just been sun beaten. It's disgusting. There's chips. There's a big old ding here. And it's just, it's a 16-year-old truck that was used. So it is what it is, right? There's not nothing you can really do about it. So the body, other than that, looks pretty straight. There's some dings kind of on the bed side here. If you guys can see these, but there's one here, there's one here. It looks like hail damage. Nothing too crazy. I want to pull these moldings off. They're bubbling a little bit, as you guys can see right here. It's kind of just flaky, so I'm eventually going to pull those, pull the Ram 2500 and the Cummins diesel logo off, just get rid of all that stuff. So the weather molding, the stripping on this truck, the belt molding this one doesn't look too bad, but this one's kind of bubbled. It's just warped from years of sitting in the sun. It did have some window shades on it. Still has like the leftover crusties on here, but I'm gonna eventually get that off. I'm probably just not gonna mess with it, honestly, until it gets painted. But the paint's all scratched up. The mirrors have been replaced. These are just $110 eBay knockoffs. They're heated, nothing's wrong with them. The other ones I had were like cracked up here and were pretty damaged, so got these, and everything's been great ever since. The only thing that was wrong with them really is the new plastic piece, or the foam that comes in between here, was not the greatest, so I had to reuse the stock ones, and it seals up pretty good. There's no noises. Coming back here to the bed, it's just an old liner, nothing crazy. It does have a gooseneck. I'm probably going to pull that off. It does have some scrapes in here, whatnot. I did, if you guys haven't seen one of my past videos, I did remove the bed liner from the rails here. I'm gonna get these welded shut. I'm actually gonna cover the stake pockets up. But yeah, it's, you can kind of see the resemblance in the primer / paint. But yeah, so that's another issue that we need to get fixed. The exhaust is a one-piece exhaust, pretty much from here to the turbo. It is welded up, chopped, ghetto rigged, but it works. That is definitely on the list of things to get. But she's a little smoky, as you guys can tell from back there. Looking at the rear of the truck, the bumper's coming off. I got a roll pan for it. The hitch is coming off. I got a hidden hitch that goes behind the license plate there. I am going to be getting a new tailgate, as it's dinged and dented up pretty good here. But yeah, that's kind of the back end of the truck. Coming around over here, probably going to do some custom tail lights, custom third brake light. I do have LED bulbs up in the cargo and the third brake light up there to kind of help, show where I'm at, I guess. Looking on the frame, I have this is a third brake, the gooseneck plate. I just painted over it, but I'm going to pull all that off. A goal long term is to pull the entire bed off, sand down the frame, clean it up, and paint it. But everything in here looks pretty good. If you guys watched my last video, I said something about an Excel spreadsheet. I got a lot of stuff on here, like these lines I need to get replaced, or the fuel filler neck. Get all those rubber hoses redone. I noticed when I was putting the air dog on, it was kind of funky. And they're old, they just need to be replaced, no big deal. On this side of the truck, There's a ding in the door right here, like it's been damaged somehow. Nothing crazy, it's just kind of like pushed in, but that can be fixed. The body, like I said, is pretty straight. I thought about doing new bed sides, but man, I'm honestly just gonna not mess with it. I'd rather have metal than fiberglass. The paint kind of jacked up. This is kind of the worst of the worst right here. I mean, the roof of the truck did have some rust. I sanded it down with some 80 grit, put some primer on it, but that is been taken care of. So as you can see here, I kind of scraped off the window visors here and kind of did some work with these, but like I said, I'm not gonna mess with it too much because it's gonna get a paint job anyway. I do have new door handles. I'm gonna do paint to match door handles. I'm gonna make this side match the other. Like I said, I'm gonna pull the molding off. Logo's coming off. And this fender over here is probably the worst of them. It is pretty dinged up. The body lines right here don't match, but there's a huge, massive dent right here. So I'm gonna get that, getting new fenders, so I ain't too worried about that. The bumper is gonna get a bumper cover, so not too worried about that. And as you guys can see in here, I've kind of painted some of the frame, cleaned it up. It's dirty because we've had some ice and snow the last couple days. The coils are pretty destroyed, but got some in the garage. We're doing the fire punk lowering coils. So the wheels are trash. They're kind of dinged and dented up. I had the guy clean them, kind of do a little detail. I'm looking for the chrome / aluminum style wheels. So these have a beautification cover. If you guys hear that's plastic, I've been looking on Marketplace like crazy trying to find the ones you can actually polish. They're pretty hard to find, and if you do find them, people want a pretty good penny for them. They sell them on eBay for about 200 bucks a wheel, but I don't know if I want to do that because this is literally just going to be a winter setup and I want it to look decent, but we'll see if I can find some. If I can't find any anytime soon, then I will probably just bite the bullet and buy them. But if you guys know of any for sale in Oklahoma City, down at like Dallas area, let me know. I need to get some of those. But yeah, that's pretty much the exterior of the truck, guys. That's really the only issues I have with it. Mainly is just paint and body work. The truck's just old. It's seen better days, but we're gonna make her a pretty little toy one more time. Into the interior, as you guys can see, this window's kind of destroyed with the tint. It's just broke. It's disgusting, but it is what it is. We'll get it retinted, not a big deal. The door panels, they do have some wear on them. Nothing too crazy. The seat was destroyed. It was blown out right here. I have put a new foam liner and a new cover on it. In the process of doing that, my motors went out on here, but as you guys can see, they're back to working. I replaced those not too long ago. Didn't make a video on that. Didn't want to bore you guys with replacing seat motors, but found them on eBay for about 180 bucks for both of them. And they work like a champ. So interior is pretty clean on this truck. I do have some things that, I wish were better, but like I got some holes drilled down here in the dash. I might have been hanging something. There's some right here as well, but it's just cosmetic stuff. Like I said, this interior is a really nice interior for what it is. Sorry for the trash bags in the back. Got to run to the Goodwill, take some old clothes, but no sunroof. I have put these clear LED lights in. It's cleaned it up. Still need to do the back one. That hasn't been done yet. That window's been replaced. There was a crack right through it. If you guys have never done that before, it's actually fairly easy. It took me about 20 minutes to swap it out. That window's still got the old school tint on it. Need to get that replaced. But the dash is pretty good. This panel up here I've replaced. I found it on eBay for like 150 bucks. I got really lucky. If you guys have a third gen Dodge and you never pulled this panel, you got to replace those speakers. I would highly suggest buying this piece before you do it, because you're not going to get this out in one piece. It's just not going to happen. As many heat cycles have been on it from the sun and sitting outside, that thing is going to crumple. Mine had a crack like right over here in this area, and when I pulled it out, it must have came out in like a gazillion other pieces. So I just broke it off and got it all out, and then vacuumed it up real nice, replaced the speakers, and threw it back down. So I'm still hesitant even about pulling this one, because I know I need to do my heater core, my AC evap or whatever it's called that's back here. I need to do the blend doors, all that crap. So hopefully this one holds up. I'll do it sooner than later. Coming to the back, we got little Miss Hadley's seat here. Like I said, everything's clean. That's kind of what sold me on this truck. The interior was immaculate. I had a fresh detail done to it. The guy came in with some steam and cleaned everything up, got the carpets. I'll probably replace the main carpet that's in here and get that taken care of someday. But right now, what I have, it'll work. So cleaned up the door jambs the other day. It was a mess. I need to replace these seals. I'm going to replace every piece of weather stripping I can find on this truck. Like, I'm going to replace these. I've already replaced this one. It's held up pretty good. The other side is discontinued, so I'm having a hard time finding that. If you guys know somewhere that sells it, please drop a link down in the comments. I will buy that thing like yesterday. So yeah, but I want to replace all the stripping, like this, these, the belt moldings on this side, the window channels, all that stuff needs to be replaced for me. Replacing this, everything in here, like those bottom strips, I'm going to replace those. There's just a lot of stuff in here. There's even hinges that I'm thinking about replacing these that I've seen for sale. So yeah, I'm trying to bring this truck back to life. But we'll go under the hood of the truck, and I'll show you guys some more things under there. All right, so we'll work our way from this way to that side. Yeah, so first and foremost, you guys see the battery cables. These things are disgusting. I need to replace these. The power steering lines for goes to the vacuum pump back here, they're kind of leaking down below. Need to replace those. Full send diesel makes a pretty nice kit. Probably gonna end up going with a lot of their AN lines on this truck. I ghetto rigged the valve cover. You guys see that bolt? That was actually had a line coming down that I broke, and that was spraying on my fleece fuel filter delete block. So cleaned that up yesterday. The block and everything looks pretty disgusting, but there's no leaks as of right now that I know of. But I do want to take this complete motor out and just clean everything up in here. So the AC condenser has seen better days. That's on the things to do. The intercooler's on the things to do. The transcooler's on the things to do. And the radiator is on the list of things to do. So this truck did have the heat insulation blanket that was back there that was covering the engine. I pulled most of that out. There's some still in the corner over there. I am going to pull all that out, pull it out, and then remove the rest of that blanket. There was an insulation piece that was going across here on the cowl. Going to pull that out. The hood is brand new, so I mean that's pretty nice. One of the nice things. Lots of plans for this bad boy. There's going to be a lot of stuff done to it. The engine runs great now that I've replaced the injectors and the CP3 and added an air dog and added a turbo, so everything is running tip top on that. But yeah, there's so much stuff I need to do under here. Like I said in my last video, reroute that the accumulator / dryer for the AC is going to go away. I want to do an AN line to my heater core that way. I'm going to get rid of this line that comes down for my heater core. I'm going to get rid of that. Probably going to do a line that goes from here, it wraps around the fender and then goes up on the firewall. Get rid of that heat exchanger over there that warms up the fluid for the trans. But yeah, a lot of stuff. But the truck overall is running great. There's a lot of plans, but underneath of it is a complete mess. I need to get that cleaned up. I'll roll under there and show you guys some things and see what we can point out. All right, so underneath, the truck's pretty clean. I did have the front end rebuilt, completely rebuilt. Got new ball joints, new tie rod ends, new steering stabilizer, got a new track bar, and everything looks pretty good. So the only things that I don't like is how dirty it is. There's just a lot of dust and debris on the frame. It's just cosmetic stuff, really. If you guys can see right there, we have some moisture on the differential right here. That's just from the hose that comes down from the crankcase cover. And I don't think 06s had a filter of any sort in the actual engine. I've looked for them to replace it, so it kind of stops some of that, but no bueno. So it's just dirty. We're doing we're gonna do some fire pump drop coils, and yeah, front end pretty decent. We'll go around to the back side. I'll show you guys the transmission and some things back there. So like I said earlier, there's no leaks, but kind of just found one. There's I think this is some kind of seal on the transfer case right here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, honestly. Needs to be fixed, but did change the transfer case fluid. That was pretty disgusting. There's the little air dogs, little peaky booger. But yeah, you guys can see the diff. It's wet from what I just said earlier. But everything looks pretty decent under here. Can't really complain. You guys see my exhaust? It's one piece. I mean, I guess there's a leak there, but it is literally welded from here. Hopefully I don't get you guys too dizzy, but all the way back. There's really no brakes in it, so she's pretty sturdy. Just need to get a new one. So the rear pinion seal looks to be leaking. Nothing drips though, like there's nothing on the ground after it's been sitting for a while, so that's promising. But yeah, it's a clean truck. You guys can see no rust on the body or anything. It just needs to be cleaned up and painted. Some people could care less. I mean, me personally, I want it nice, and eventually want to do a one-piece drive shaft, so I'll probably do that when I do the trans. And yeah, everything looks pretty clean under here. Alright guys, that is her in a nutshell. So that's pretty much everything wrong with it. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff on the build sheet that I want to get taken care of. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to be upfront and truthful with you guys about everything that's on the truck. I got this truck, I'll tell you, for really good price. Not really going to share what I paid for it. Trust me, it is a hell of a lot below market value what people were asking for these things. And I think the previous owner may have known the injectors were probably going out. So when I drove it home, it had the coil light come on. He said it might have been the grid heater, but the grid heater was disconnected. So usually that's a high flow or high return rates on your injectors. I had a couple codes on there that I checked. It was all related to grid heater stuff. So put 2 and 2 together. She was a dog. She was 2,000, 3,000 RPM. There was no change in like how fast she would move. So to me, that was just a dead giveaway. We ended up biting a bullet and doing that stuff sooner than later. But yeah, she's back to tip-top shape, running just fine. Just tightening up some minor details to get this thing taken care of. When I have more time and when I have another vehicle, I'll get another vehicle as a daily. I want to completely gut the whole front end of this truck and just redo it, like clean it, like paint it, paint the block, make everything look nice, and then stab her back in. So but yeah, this is going to be my, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is just an introduction to everything that is completely wrong with the truck, and we're going to fix it all. So some of the minor stuff I'm not going to show on the channel, like, you know, seals and stuff like that. That stuff's kind of boring, but I know you guys are here for the build of the truck when it comes to the performance and maybe some of the cosmetic stuff, but we are going to be knocking that out here sooner than later. So once again, I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys' support. Please get down there, like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next upload. Have a good one.